Can I get every achievement in? The first mission starts with you on a bank heist. Working alongside your gang known as the Saints, your job is just to steal as much money as you can, with the main target being the giant vault within this building. Eventually you get to a part where you expose the vault, but this is where SWAT come. You have to hold off against this SWAT until the helicopter arrives to take the vault out of this building and help you escape. With the helicopter arriving, it only makes sense to travel one way. This is hanging off the side of the vault. From here, you can take down as many enemies as humanly possible, navigating from side to side to the vault, just shooting everything you can see. You just have to make sure the vault stays attached to this helicopter. However, no matter how many enemies you take down and how hard you try, it's just not enough to keep that vault secure. This ends the level and gets us the first achievement of the game, Dead Presidents. Following immediately after the bank heist, we find ourselves in the second mission of the game. Here, we're on top of an airplane being escorted by a security company to the prison that we belong in. Obviously, we don't want to go there, so we escape our captors. Making our way through the plane, we get to the cargo hold where we're ejected out into the sky. Fortunately, we have a parachute, but one of our gang members do not, so we have to chase after them through the sky. Obviously, this is never made easy, as the guards of the plane are also chasing after us through the sky, so we have to shoot at them too. We managed to make it down to Shandy, but unfortunately an airplane is flying directly at us. This means that we have to do what I can only describe as some crazy shit. When we then safely make it to the ground, we get the achievement, the Welcome Wagon. When completing missions or challenges within Saints Row 3, you unlock XP. This then levels your player up and enables you to unlock upgrades. These can be to have increased ammo, increased damage, increased health. Eventually, you're able to upgrade your character enough to be immune to any damage and have unlimited ammo, so it's very helpful. When you do this for the first time, you'll get the achievement, A Better Person. Whilst we were captured, it turns out that a rival gang had taken over our penthouse. This means that we need to take it back. I would say this is one of the more iconic missions in this game because as you're playing it, Power by Kanye West is playing in the background. It's a classic song and I think it just really adds to the vibe of the mission. Obviously, I can't play it in this video, but trust me, it is great. When you manage to clear the rival gang from your penthouse, you'll then finish this mission, unlocking the achievement, Opulence, You Has It. The next mission follows us helping one of our gang mates Pierce out. First off, he wants us to find a sex doll. This seems like a strange thing to find, but it turns out this is one of the collectibles in this game.
Pierce, what the hell is this? Oh, that? A little hobby of mine.
Next up, we have to purchase a building. By purchasing buildings and shops, this then generates money passively. Every hour or so, you can then collect this money. And finally, he wants us to eliminate a gang operation. Gang operations are just a cluster of enemies that you just need to go in and kill all of them. Once you manage to kill all of them, you'll get a bit of money as a reward, as well as a percentage increase in the amount of revenue you make within the city passively. Once you've done all of this and then return back to the bar that we own, you'll then unlock the achievement, We're Taking Over. It's now time to end Act 1. Unfortunately, due to the achievements in this game, we do have to play this mission twice, as there's two possible outcomes. For the first one, we have to head to Sin Tower. Once we've arrived, we then basically have to do what we've done in every single mission so far, and kill as many guards as humanly possible. Once we head upstairs, we find a naked brute who's on our side called Oleg. From here, we have to navigate further through the offices, somehow finding ourselves hanging off some ornament hanging from the ceiling. Once again, we just have to kill as many guards as possible. An enemy brute then decides that we belong straight back down in the parking lot, which we've just fought our way back up from.
Get off my damn lawn!
Now that we're back down here, we now have to make a decision which impacts which achievement we get. This is to either blow up the building or disarm the bomb so that we can keep the building to ourselves. For this first mission playthrough, I decided to blow up the building. For doing this, you'll unlock the achievement Kaboom. Thankfully, all I have to do is just basically play the mission the exact same way up into that final decision. The second time, I then decided to disarm the bomb, which then unlocks the achievement Tower Defense. Having mainly focused on the main missions at this point, it's now time to do some of the side missions and some of the challenges. The first of these is Heli Assault. Very simply, you just have to protect your gang members as they make drug stops. Whilst they make these stops, they'll tend to be attacked by other gangs and police, so you just have to sit in the helicopter and blow them up basically. It's pretty straightforward, but you just have to be aware of not doing any damage yourself to the car, otherwise you can very easily fail these missions. Once you're able to complete all of the Heli Assault missions, you'll then unlock the achievement Boom Goes the Dynamite. I think one of the best things about Saints Row that everybody can agree on is the humour that they use within it. The game just doesn't take itself too seriously. One of these elements is when you hijack a car, you're able to do a move called a Bojuken. No clue what the reference is, so if anyone does know, please let me know. I might just be being an idiot. When you've done this for the 50th time, you'll then unlock the achievement Bojuken. Within Saints Row 3, there are a lot of challenges that you have to complete. These consist of destroying cars, getting multi-kills, doing strange tasks, clearing gang operations, and getting collectibles. Up to this point, I'd been chipping away at a lot of these, such as like the headshots and different ones like that you just pick up whilst playing the main missions. Although this has been the case, I hadn't yet completed a challenge. However, when completing these side missions, I was able to destroy a lot of cars. Whilst doing the side missions, I then destroyed my 300th car, completing my first challenge, and unlocking the achievement Shake and Bake. Continuing on with these side missions, it gives us the perfect opportunity to kill as many enemies as possible. This is due to the fact that a lot of these challenges just consist of kill a certain amount of enemies in a certain area and then move on to the next. I then eventually killed my 1000th enemy, which got me the achievement Haters Gonna Hate. Guardian Angel is a side mission where you have to sit in a helicopter with an RPG and protect Angel as he drives around and does drug drops. It sounds pretty simple, but a lot of opposing gang cars will come and hunt him down. You then basically just have to blow them up with the RPG that you've been given. When you play through these side missions, there is an easy, normal, and hard version of each of them. It just comes down to the amount of enemies that spawn really and the amount of drops that you need to do. When you've managed to complete every instance of Guardian Angel, you'll then unlock the achievement Go Into the Light. One of the more interesting side missions are the Professor Genki's Super Ethical Reality Climax. This is some sort of weird game show that's hosted by some cat mascot, where you basically just have to go through and kill a load of enemies and get to an endpoint. You have to do this within a time frame and score a certain amount of points. You do this through killing enemies, shooting boards that give you money, health, or can even take points away from you. Some of these are quite difficult due to the enemy types that spawn in here, but generally it's not that bad. Especially if you're able to pick up a good weapon, you can make this pretty easy for yourself. Eventually, once you've completed all of these, you'll unlock the achievement Have a Reality Climax. The side mission that I probably struggled with the most is Trailblazing. This is basically just a time trial where you get given a specific vehicle and just have to get from point A to point B. You have to go through checkpoints and it gives you a slight boost to your time. However, if you run out of time, you then lose the mission. What I didn't realise till very late on, which would have made this much easier, is that if you hit pedestrians with your vehicle, you get additional time. This makes some of the trickier missions a lot easier. Once these have all been completed, you get the achievement Pork Chop Sandwiches. Next up is Insurance Fraud. In this, you just have to do as much damage to your person as humanly possible. When you do a bit of damage, you then get given a monetary value to that damage. From this, you've just got to reach a certain target, and if you do this, you pass that challenge. Again, some of these can be quite difficult, but if you get into the role of it, you get big production, big scores. Once these are all completed, you'll then unlock the achievement Ouch. Fence Killer 2011 is the next side mission related achievement that I went for. This is for completing all instances of Mayhem. In Mayhem, you'll be given some type of explosive, be it an RPG or grenades, and you just have to cause as much mayhem as possible. Like with insurance fraud, everything you do gets given a monetary value and you just have to reach a certain target. These are pretty easy because you just spam fire or spam throw grenades and eventually you'll complete all of the missions and unlock the achievement. Snatch was the next side mission that I attempted to complete. In this, you have to travel from point to point and pick up hoes. You then have to transport them back to where you started. This sounds pretty easy, but usually they're heavily guarded and as you drive off, you'll be chased. This can be a bit tricky and annoying because the hoes can die and you don't have an unlimited amount. When you're able to complete all of the Snatch levels, you'll then unlock the achievement Double Dose of Pimping. One of the easier and more fun side missions is Tank Mayhem. Similar to the standard Mayhem, you just have to blow up as much stuff as possible and generate as much money. However, this time you're in a tank. This means that it's even easier, because realistically, what's better than blowing stuff up than a tank? I was able to complete these very quickly and then unlock the achievement Thank You Very Much. Trafficking is similar to the Guardian Angel missions. However, instead of being in a helicopter and safe, you're in the car. This means that protecting the drug drop-offs is a bit more tricky, as you're a lot more in the firing line. However, if you have some good weapons and you've leveled up your person enough, it should be relatively easy. When all of these missions are complete, Tune In drop-off will be unlocked. Finally is the escort side missions. This is one of the more tricky, strange ones. In these, you'll either have a tiger or two people in the back of the car just having some fun. You basically just have to keep them excited. You do this by driving like a lunatic, and if you slow down too much, the tiger will either attack you or the people will get out the back of the car. This isn't the easiest thing in the world though, as people are constantly trying to stop you and then just blatantly block you in. However, once you're able to complete all of these missions, your backseat smells funny will unlock. In the next main story mission, we find ourselves getting onto a cargo ship. Now that we're on the cargo ship, we have to locate some hoe crates. What are these? These are crates just full of hoes. Very simple, obviously. With all the hoes then rescued from their crates, we now need to defend the boat from the gang members coming to get them back. They attack the boat through helicopters and boats, but thankfully we have a minigun just to mow them all down. To get off the boat, we then have to fly away on a chopper. We then obviously have to defend the hose chopper as well. As it's Saints Row, the only way that this is possible is by using an RPG. Flying along, you just have to destroy all the vehicles that are attacking these choppers. After successfully completing this, we then get the achievement Got a Break In. Alongside this, due to exploring a new area of Stillport, I also get the achievement Gellin Like a Magellan for exploring the entire island. As mentioned previously, there are collectibles within this game, unsurprising as it is an open world game. These are sex dolls, money pallets, and drug drops. By this point in the game, I felt like I'd picked up quite a few of them. Eventually, I then reached the 25% completion of this. By doing that, I got the achievement Getting the Goods. In the next mission, we end up in some sort of hacker space. In here, we transform into a toilet, we have Tron-esque weapons, we just sort of are in a computer. It's all very strange, I don't really know how to explain it. We just have to fight our way through and get to the mainframe, where we can then take down this major computer system. To be honest, the story in this game doesn't make a lot of sense anyway, so I think me explaining it poorly doesn't help on top of that. This all ends with us being some sort of monster that has to take down an avatar. Again, I don't really know what I'm saying at this point. Once we manage to take down this avatar, we'll then unlock the achievement KillDeckers.exe. I started off this playthrough playing as a gentleman. However, for one of these achievements, I then need to change over to a woman. For the achievement Gender Equality, you have to play at least 2 hours as a male character and a female character. Once you then reach the second hour of your second character, the achievement will then pop. With the Saints taking over more and more of the city and causing more and more chaos, Stag gets invited into the city. Stag are basically just a SWAT team. They have more futuristic weapons and do a hell of a lot of damage. They also really seem to hate us. The first thing they do is attack Saints Tower, so it's our responsibility to defend it. We do this by using explosives and snipers and anything you really need to do to stop this force. With Stag held off for long enough, we've done all that we can, and now it's time just to escape. After escaping, we then unlock the achievement I Heart Nightblade. It's now time to take the fight back to Stag. We do this by first off stealing a VTOL. Using the VTOL, we're then able to land on the Thermopylae, I think it's called. It's a giant warship that Stag use as a headquarters. This is what we want to infiltrate. Now that we're on the warship, we can now just start causing chaos. Destroying stuff, killing people, just doing what the Saints do best really. This can be difficult due to the heavy armor and weapons that they have, but we've also upgraded our stuff, so it makes it a bit easier. The final thing we need to do is to destroy the console. This will then destroy the warship. Once it's destroyed, we just have to make sure that we escape on time. With the ship then blown up, we get the achievement Titanic Effort for finishing Act 2. Next up, we get asked to go to a quarantine zone. Of course, with this game being Saints Row, it's full of zombies. Why does this game need to be a zombie game? I don't know. I thought it was about gangs, but apparently zombies are also a gang, I guess. Whilst here, we then need to submerge some containers which are passing out gases that are turning people into zombies. Pretty straightforward, as we have some sort of weapon that's some kind of gravity gun, I guess. Once we're able to do this and clear the entire area, we then get the achievement, Once Bitten, Brains. Two achievements that require larger grinds in this game are Hijack It and Everything is Permitted. For Everything is Permitted, we have to kill all of the hitmen assassination targets. There are 36 of these in total, and you'll be given some sort of task with an idea of how to draw them out or just an area to go to. Once you get there, look for the person and kill them. Once you've killed all 36 of them, you'll then get the achievement. Similar sort of thing for Hijack It, but this time you just have to go to a certain area and pick up a certain vehicle. Then bring it back to the drop-off location and that will complete it. Some of the vehicles are easier to transport back because usually you'll be attacked whilst doing this. I'm pretty sure one of the harder ones is a garbage van just because it's so slow and you just take so much damage that usually by the time you get there you basically explode. Once you collect all of the vehicles, you'll then unlock the achievement Hijack It. Following these assassinations and target vehicles, it was now time to purely focus on the collectibles. There's quite a few in this game, but thankfully you can buy an upgrade where you can see where the locations are on the map. This means that you can get a quick vehicle or one that can fly and just get around very quickly, just picking them all up. Once you collect your final collectible, you'll then unlock the achievement, Life of the Party. Alongside the standard thugs, there are also special enemies. These can be specialists. This is just a variation of gang members who will have a special weapon or in a helicopter with a sniper rifle, something like that. But more commonly, you'll come across brutes. These are just big boys. If you don't blow them up, you can do damage to them and then eventually finish them off. This will usually be done with a gun or a grenade. After killing your 50th, you'll then unlock the achievement, Who Loves Your Baby? For some reason in this game, you get the opportunity to taunt and compliment people. Not really sure why this is in the game, as it doesn't really add anything, but it does get you a little bit of XP. You can also taunt and compliment enemies, but again, it doesn't stop them from shooting at you. However, there is an achievement linked to this. This is Love-Hate Relationship. To get this, you just have to taunt or compliment 50 enemies. I found the best way to do this was just run up to them, taunt or compliment them, and then shoot them and kill them. Eventually, once you've hit your 50th, you'll then unlock the achievement. Next up for me was just going around and making sure that I 100% every area of the map. Each area of the map have different criteria for you to 100% them. These can be buying all of the shops and stores, completing all of the side missions, collecting all of the collectibles, and just generally exploring the whole area. Once you 100% each of these areas, you'll then get an achievement. There are 5 achievements linked to this, but once you've completed the whole map, you'll then unlock the achievement, Bright Lights Big City. Unfortunately, the recording for this achievement corrupted, but here's me getting Flash in the Pan, which is for just completing one of the small areas. Two of the more iconic weapons in this game is the Penetrator and the Fart in the Jar. The Penetrator is just a giant phallic object that you can hit people with. Basically a baseball bat, but in the shape of a giant penis. Fart in the Jar, however, is the upgraded version of a flashbang. You just throw this at enemies and it will confuse them. If you're able to kill 25 gang members with each of these weapons, you can then unlock the achievement, Stay Classy Steelport. Because zombies are classed as gang members, it's definitely easiest to do it against them, because there are so many of them. They're also very easy to kill. Now that I've been able to generate quite a bit of money by buying all of the different stores and shops in Steelport, it was time to spend that money. First off, I focused on upgrading all of my weapons. You do this by taking it to a gun store and just buying the upgrades, which just gives you more attachments, better fire rate, more damage, all that sort of jazz. Once you've upgraded one weapon in each slot, you'll then unlock the achievement Cowboy Up. What I didn't realise up to this point was the fact that you can upgrade some of your strongholds. You do this by going into the stronghold, going into the menu, and then just pressing upgrade. When you upgrade it, it increases the amount of money that it generates every hour. So I definitely recommend doing this early because it can give you more money in the long run. As I said though, I didn't realise this, but at this point I had so much money it didn't really matter anyway. Alongside this, once you fully upgrade one of your strongholds, you'll then unlock the achievement Pimped Out Pad. Finally, the other thing that I had to spend a bunch of money on was vehicles. Around Steelport are many modification shops where you can take cars in and jazz them up as much as you want. However, for the achievement American Dream, you only have to customise 10 vehicles once. This meant I'd just drive them in, buy the cheapest upgrade, drive them out, get another one, and then drive in again. I would recommend upgrading one vehicle to the full though, because you can get some great customisation. However, if you're just going for the achievement like I did, this is how to do it. Probably the biggest grind of achievement is You're My Hero. To get this achievement, you have to complete every challenge. If I remember correctly, I think there's about 30 challenges throughout the entire game. Some of these are much easier than others. One of these is driving a certain distance, one is driving on the wrong side of the road, another is performing nut shots, and things in that nature. However, some of them are more time consuming, like taking hostages, where you have to steal cars where there's a passenger in it, start a hostage thing, and then drive on for a little bit. This can be annoying though, because not every car has a pedestrian in it. The final challenge that I did need to complete though was to streak for 10 minutes. To do this, you just had to strip your character naked and then go streaking. Very simple, but it's just a bit of a grind because you've got to do it for 10 minutes, and it's not the most fun thing in the world. However, once you've done all of these challenges, you'll then unlock the achievement You're My Hero. Now that I'm nearing the end of the game, I was very surprised to see that I hadn't got the achievement Ow My Balls. To get this, you have to perform a testicle assault. You do this by running up to an enemy and performing a special melee attack. Once again, because it has to be done on a gang member, I chose the zombies. Just makes life a lot easier. The first time you do this, you'll then unlock the achievement. We're now on the final mission that we have to play twice. Like earlier in the game, there's two possible outcomes and we need to experience both of them. Both of these are then linked to an achievement. In the previous mission, we get the opportunity to either hunt down one of the other gang bosses or save one of our gang. In my first playthrough, I decided to go after the other gang boss. Following this, we then need to go and attack the Daedalus. This is just a giant flying airplane thing with guns and turrets and all that jazz. Once on board, we then need to plant some bombs to take this giant ship down. Following this, we just then have to kill the big boss of Stag. He's being a bit of a wetty and not fighting you like a man and just flying a VTOL around. This can be a bit annoying as you only get certain opportunities to take him down, but using the minigun and explosives, eventually you'll be able to do so. At this point, I'd upgrade my person so much that I'd no longer take damage and have unlimited ammo, so this makes it a lot easier. With Cyrus dead, Stag taken down, and you escaping this exploding ship, this now finishes the main story of the game. This then unlocks the achievement Too Close to the Sun. For the second playthrough, we then decide to save our gang member. This then takes us a slightly different direction and we end up on Mars. Not really too sure why or how this happens, but again, it's Saints Row, so you just expect anything at this point. Now that we're on Mars, we basically have to storm a stronghold. To do this, we just have to disable force fields until we're in the main hub of the area. Now with the access to the main hub, we have to take down Killbane. He's the final gang leader that we left alive. He was the one that we could have chose to kill earlier in the split decision. We do this by shooting lava crystals that are above him in this area, which explode and do damage. Eventually, when we've done enough damage, we can then finish him off once and for all. With Killbane dead, this is the story completely finished. This means that we get the last story-related achievement, Gangsters in Space. Finally, the last achievement in this game that I needed to get was 3rd and 30. This is by far the most exciting achievement in the entire game, and as you can see by this thrilling gameplay, it's really, I can't really explain it. What you have to do is basically play the game for 30 hours. I had finished everything at about 25 hours, so I just had to leave the game running for the remaining 5 hours. Eventually, you'll reach that final 30th hour and unlock the achievement. I played Saints Row 3 when I was younger at a friend's house, but other than that, hadn't really touched the franchise as a whole, to be honest. I was aware of what to expect, that the game's a bit wacky, and it started as a GTA clone, but sort of took on its own identity. I have to say, it's exactly what you want, really. It's stupid, it's good fun, some of the bits are a bit tedious, such as the challenges, but generally the achievements are good fun. The humour works, the combat's fine, and the upgrades and the abilities just make this game a bit of a breeze. I would definitely recommend playing it, as it is a bit of a classic at this point. The soundtrack's great, and driving around, some of the music that you can listen to is also really good fun. As some people may have noticed, this is the remastered version, so there are the DLCs in this game. I didn't actually touch any of the DLCs, so if people are interested, I may come back and do that at some point. If you've made it this far in the video, I really appreciate it. If you can click the like and subscribe button and comment, that goes a really good way. If you've got any suggestions on games I should play in the future, please also let me know, as I'm always looking for new games to play. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.